But before we delve into a lot of things, I have to do who is Hope Jenny? What do you think Hope Jenny is? Like Obiabeka, like what do you think Hope Jenny is? So I'll start with the new person. Comfort, what do you think Hope Jenny is? What do you think? What do you think Hope Jenny is? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a group that helps the needy. Okay, yeah. Jonathan, what do you think Hope Jenny is? Mm-hmm. I beg you, if you talk. Mm-hmm. Make it a transition in this. Yeah, so Jonathan, I beg, yeah, let's go again. Yeah, I didn't hear. Technical issues. Yeah, Busia. Yeah, family. Yes, I like that one too. Yeah, family, community. Yes, a network. Mm-hmm. Venice. Nah, yeah, nah. You have to say something else. Nah. Ebusia pe hin neighbor, but Nana kwesi asari or ba.
And young people will come together to form this organization, sharing the word of God, sharing fairly used clothes. Spending the Christmas with a particular town or community and choose.
Okay, so she has summarized almost everything we do, and mean to me repeat it. Michael, yeah, what do you think of Jenny is? Okay, doing God's work by helping the needy. Okay, Asamoah. Nah. Okay. When you say clear now.
Yeah, so it's a Christian community that wants to reach out to other less privileged.
A Christian community that wants to reach out to less privileged. But
Physical ones.
Okay. Very technical definition. Okay, Ben. Also,
it's a family aimed at winning souls for Christ through show of love.
Okay. You doubt. Nah, you doubt. You doubt. Nana kwesi asari ema akwaba. Nyame adom. Babusuafo yewa ha. What do you think Hope Jenny is? Okay. Yeah, so as usual, mostly we open this meeting with an introduction to Hope Jenny, what Hope Jenny is. So Obakumon Pioneer starting. Obakumon Pioneer starting. Go on, Chico. Amen. Okay, yes. So the introduction. This year we are stress every day. We are looking at stress things. A recap of last year, and then a look on what Christian altruism is, and then how we are holding. It's a project we are working on since 2022 up to 2025 and beyond. And so these are the three things we are discussing this year for the introduction. And last year we spoke about that operate outside the church. They are faith-based organizations. They are mostly non-denominational, and they look at social welfare issues and evangelism. And so last year we positioned Hope Journey as a parachurch organization, because mostly people think the people keep asking, why don't we add those SGD things on our stuff? It's intentional. It's not like we don't know what we are doing. It's intentional. We are not the average NGO, the ones people do. We don't subscribe to those things. We are sort of a parachurch organization, a Christian non-profit, and so we rather place ourselves as an organization which looks like some of these organizations. Until last year, this is something we spoke about. That example of those parachurch organizations here, Gideon's. Gideon's, we all know Gideon's, right? A lot of us got a chance to have access to a copy of God's word through them. Gideon's International, Umbukuno. And then SU, campus, campus, yes. And the good thing about parachurch organizations, yes, they do a lot of work at where the churches fall short. You and I, we are all in churches, right? You know the budget. It's some parts of the work, some important parts of it, exactly, especially the evangelism part of the work. Mostly the budget is unable. In my church, for instance, we are building a chapel, so our budget is mostly spent on the chapel. Other places, they have their issues they are focusing on, and so these organizations filling for where the churches fall short. So had it not Gideon's, no one would share over 1 billion Bibles across the globes. I'm not sure any church will be able to do that. And then there's Acts 29. For them, mostly what they do is they help in church planting. When they can give you total budget of the church planting project, everything you need, and they go and they do everything for you. Sort of end-to-end approach to church planting projects. You get it? And then there is Ghana Evangelism Committee. They provide tracts for evangelism. There is a New Life. Most of the churches use those ones, and they are the ones who produce it. And African Enterprise does evangelism in towns and cities. Like they collaborate with the churches in the town, then they try to help you people reach out to people in the town. And then there is Joyful Way. So Obi Animum, it's a music group, but I will say a Kamame. It's a music organization. They introduced Ghanaians to the idea of Christian concerts. Back then, you can only have a Christian rock show in your church. But then they started organizing programs at conference center and those big places. They just changed everything. And now we have Team Eternity and all those people doing those things. And so most of organizations like this do those things, and they push the whole Christian mission forward. And so we think Hope Journey is like one of those organizations. Like we place ourselves in something like this. So with this, you'll be able to know what we are doing. So we are not like those normal NGO where you need SGDs to work with. We are like these people. Yes. So this year we are looking at Hope Journey as an altruistic organization, but for no also. But it's something that comes from one of our objectives. In 2018, we tasked a group of people to work on our constitution. That constitution committee was chaired by Charles, and one of the things they brought as the objective was teaching young people to be able to help others. And when you look at it from a deeper level, like from a very esoteric level, you can see it's something altruistic. And when we say someone is altruistic or something is altruistic, altruism is the main word, like unselfishness, selfless and self-sacrifice, self-denial and consideration for the well-being of others. And patriotism, I think that you bit me drop a slice of group so that people will be able to. It's on the desktop. Yes. So for the well-being of others, like you do something, you put it out there, not for your own gain, but then for the gain of other people. So let's look at example of altruistic causes in the world right now. There is this group in New York called NYC Mesh. They're a group of network people, like network engineers, and they just work on Wi-Fi services for everyone, so that everyone will have access to internet. Recently, I was in their Telegram group, and I was seeing that they are also trying to work on a form of Starlink for people in remote areas to have access to internet. Because what is a world to be in when you don't have any internet, no access to internet? So that's what they are trying to work at. And then our own Gideon's International, they work on free distribution of Bibles, and they place Bibles in hotels so that when you are feeling bored in a hotel, but sometimes when you are going to get to the hotel and the Bible is there. So like yes, so they put Bible in the hotel, like yeah. Okay. Yes, and hospitals too. I'm part of Gideon's Tema, and there is another one too, Samaritan Space. They work on relief services. At the moment, there is hurricane in US, and they are doing really well over there with their choppers and all those things. They are all over the place helping people to at least salvage the situation. And they have another program called Operation Christmas Shout. It's like what we do for them. Theirs is a shoebox. They pack all the good things they think you will need. They put it in a shoebox. Then they ship it across the globe to people who need. Yes, something like that. Until sometimes you open it. I've have the experience of seeing one. Someone brought one to us at home when we were in Educo, and be out here, be like nice things to someone you don't know, and it's a very nice project they are working on. And then another altruistic cause in here, Wikipedia. People sharing information on Wikipedia. They are sharing it so that people useful information so that people will learn. Through that, now we all have an encyclopedia we all can have access to. So those are some of the things. And then there is one last one, Free Cycle. For them, they take old laptops from people and then they give it to people who need them. You have laptops in your closet, like you are not using. Someone needs it. They just take it, work on the problem the laptop is having, then they just give it to people who need it. So it's some of these things are altruistic causes. They are doing it with their free time. They are doing it not because it's their life, but then they just do it to help others because they won't gain anything, obviously. So altruism is a core Christianity, and Jesus Christ told us to learn to others. Matthew chapter 5 verse 42. And then he also instructed us in Matthew 25 verse 31 to 40, where he was trying to use an imagery of when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was in a prison, you didn't come and rescue me. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me water to drink. I'm paraphrasing. And then in the commandments too, we have to love our neighbor as self. And so whatever good thing you think you need, you sometimes you share it with others too. Shouldn't be only self-centered. Then in James, it's also an example of what true religion is. You understand what true religion is supposed to be. And then in Titus, Paul was also talking about the fact that it's a way to make our lives productive. Because some of these things, when you do, it clears up your mind from the stress at the office. A lot of us here are working, people are dealing, and it's to take your mind off the stress from the classroom or the stress from whatever you are working on. And so example of altruistic causes. It's not like today where people are doing it. There is Tabitha, known for Dorcas, known as Dorcas, through which we have our Dorcas box. That's where we got the inspiration for the Dorcas box name. So she was making clothes for people. So that's clothes. And there's Luke, who was healing people, and he even healed the Roman's daughter. So Luke was a doctor, and he was using his skill to heal people, not healing in terms of like what we know, like miracle, but then healing as a doctor. Yeah. Have you about like, and then the story, and pastor came to pass by. Sorry, Penny came to pass by, and then there was only one person nobody expected to help, and he did. So he was doing it because it was someone who does not belong to his tribe. Then in our current local setting, we have altruists in recent times, where we have the across the street here, we have Combe Hospital. Initially, it started as a free hospital. You go, you get healed. Yeah, by the Basel missionaries. You go there, you get healed, free. And I think, okay, get treated, yes. Okay, so get treated. So you get what you are suffering from, and then you won't pay anything as at that time. And I think it's one of the first places they did surgery back then in terms of history. It's a very recent altruistic cause by a local organization. Then there is Pentecost Scholarship. I was reading that they have given out 1.7 million to people in form of scholarship, so that people will get educated. Like church, there's some so in but then they have been amount so that people will get that. And there is one I've learned about, Joyful Way. They are funding of deck exams for people who are needy. Cultural SS and Alpha, and also Niska Ofie. So they try to motivate them to write them and also fund it. It's a way to encourage people from needy homes to also learn and have access to university education. So these are a very good altruistic example of altruistic organizations right now. One thing I want to talk about is our society is facing a lot of issues right now because of people not having these altruistic principles, like just doing something, putting it out there so that everyone will benefit. Like even someone will be creative free Wi-Fi, no one pass around to plan for your show. Say, like we seem to always think, say, someone has an evil motive for something good he is doing. Ulterior motives. How did they have the ulterior motive? Like for what he's doing. It's just someone can just do that. And people he should do that so that society advance. People give out their patents for projects so that at least other people too can use the way they were able to solve a particular problem to also produce a product they have. It's a way society improve, and it's a way things get better. And we are not improving, we are not going forward as a people because of this. Because we don't have trees around us. Rich people keep their money to themselves and their girlfriends and their families. So we are unable to we are unable to fund some of these courses. Elsewhere, when someone has money, they create library or a place people can go and learn for free. People even start universities because of that. But here we don't have those things. So we need to embed that thing into people. So right now, we want to talk about Hope Journey as an altruistic organization. I think that's one thing we want to do. We want to intentionally do good, like things we are doing. We want to intentionally work on those things. So we want to create a community of people, like what you were saying, family cause community. So family of people who intentionally want to do good, like with your free time, like you wake up and you share the gospel with people. Hope Diary with it's your free time. Sometimes you just do that so that and also with the bags and all these things, a family's budget depends on the bag, in as much as you think it's something little. Last year, when we were trying to discuss about whether we should do something grand so that it will be a monumental something, or we just give what we give, no. I remember someone said something. I don't know if it's Barton or someone else said something. Said the bags are very personal. If one child is able to have a bag, it's fine. It's something really good for someone, and like in as much as from where we are sitting, we don't see it. We know very well that people really get impacted by the bags, and so I want to say that altruism is not only about money. Like right now, as we are here, someone volunteered to bring us the food. It's an altruistic cause. Someone emptying the trash, if maybe like we had a dustbin here and someone goes empty it, it's an altruistic cause, because we all they see on our body, like we go feed nobody would, but then someone volunteering to do it. And then the church is doing the one taking the power right now. Yeah, so it's an altruistic cause. So instead of always constantly taking things from people, we don't want to be consumers. I think we want to also contribute something to society, to advancement of church and society. I don't know if I'm the only person. It's like every day we are consuming. Like you also have to create something. You also have to give something to the advancement of human pool. Like you have to give some back. You can't always be the one taking like things people have created. Like the mass we use, the principles in database, I didn't create it. The food I eat, I'm not the one who cooked the food. I a lot of things. This chair this chair we are sitting on, we are not the ones who created it, but then these things offer us an opportunity to also create something. You have like something other people to benefit. Like you create something, you put it out there. The guy who did this summer hat or this summer hat, why? And now we are sitting under it and we are enjoying it. That's the whole idea. Like yeah, or just skaka they are maintained, but we're enjoying production cost. So it's a way to contribute back, give something back. It's not everything that is supposed to be like, oh yeah, near Tiauka, but then it's a way to give back, like to society and church. So yeah, will be a question be about the whole altruism. I think we all understand what we are trying to say. Yeah, so I want to talk about the last part, scaling hope journey. Our growth strategy, a way to grow our organization. This is something we've been working on since 2022, post-COVID. What happened was, before COVID 2019, we had our best year, Bunkwa. We had funding more than we needed, and the program was like the food thing was perfect. Then COVID struck, then inflation, everything was happening. So we can't fund a lot of things now, and we still have to find a way to work with things. Aside the funding, we have another issue too with personnel. Sometimes you get the money you need for things. This program, we have the money we need, but then still people are able to show up. Although some of them are joined via Meet and YouTube, we still need personnel. So these are the two main problems we are having, and so these are the two main things we need to solve when we want to scale hope journey. Just startups, but then I think it's a neat word we can use. So yeah, we will scale hope journey with systems, and we need to work with systems. So that's what we've been doing. We moved from a hierarchical system of running hope journey to a block of functional system. So hierarchical, as in we had the patrons, then you have the executives who were the governing people now, and then we had the associates, and then for the executives, we had directorates. where the person running the education directorate was in charge of hope bags, stationery, so it is BEC starter pack, anything that was relating to education. And it was a bit problematic because if you have a team running all these things, it becomes burdensome because that's not his day-to-day job. You understand? He uses his free time to do Hope Journey, and so the person will not be able to do it. The same thing with, let's say, the missions directorate. You have a boy running Hope Diary, running, organizing Evangelism 101, organizing house to house evangelism. It becomes problematic. Same person making sure that Hope Diary posts on social media, and then when you look at the communication to the same thing, one person doing a lot of things. So we started moving towards a functional system where one person is in charge of a specific thing. Like, I'm in charge of this bottle pay. That's the whole work I'm coming to do, the whole work I do. So right now you have one person handling Hope Diary, you have one person handling stationery, one person handling health issues, one person handling those things. So it makes it easier to for someone to account for something, and it makes it easier for things to work because one person is not handling so many things, and people will be folding their arms to look at the person, whilst you have a lot of people who can do it. And so we are trying to have a matrix style, which is a blend of the functional and the hierarchical. So at the point we use the hierarchy, and then we just move towards the functional. So this is how the whole thing will look like. Unfortunately, it doesn't look good here, but it's supposed to look good on your phones. If okay. Yeah, so we have the associate at the top, which is the highest position someone gets. Yeah, so you are associate at the top, and then we have the trustees, the board. The highest decision making is the associate, and then the judges, and then we have the operational teams, which comprise of the functional leads. So the functional leads, example, stationery, diary, Dockers box. Those are functional. Team leads. The team leads. So the teams are, we have Dockers box team, the stationery team, home team, the various teams. The leads are also part of the operational teams, and then the functional leads, we have only two people. The transportation person, he doesn't have members, he's still a key person. And then we have the person in charge of the field activities. When we go to the field, the person becomes the operational person over there, where he makes sure so everyone gets everything, and he stands back. Like this in the field, the person makes sure, and there's someone you need to ask questions on the field. And with this, it gives the coordinator opportunity to also look at the program from an outside. Like, it has really helped us. Like, from the time we started implementing this, mostly when we go on the field, back then people will be asking me questions, Owusu, IK. But then these days they put the pressure on Boateng. He's what is not working, what is not. It's all right, I'm happy, but it's helping. So yeah, sort of. Yeah, but then offline, I'm the one doing almost every day. Yes, when we go online, when we go on the field, he's the one handling things. And throughout the year, I'm the one doing all those things. But then I get to rest on just that day. Yes, get it. You are sitting at the back, and you see Boateng like doing it, and you see this one. Okay, so it means next time we have to add this. Oh, okay. Then next time we have to. So that's what, and it helps. So it makes the whole thing easier to run, and it's been helping us since we started implementing it. And so the operational team, we have the coordinator, the functional leads, and the team leads. If you're a member of it, you are in the group, hopejourney.ops. That's what it means. It's not like a system. They are like it's a system we are running, but then that's what it is. Like it's operational. And so then under the operational list, and then we have the team members who are associates, the friends, and then other stakeholders, because we have some of the patrons in there and the trustees in some of the teams. Yeah, so this is how the structure is. I hope it makes sense and it's not cumbersome. So mostly when there is a critical decision to make, we reach out to associates. So that's where we make the decisions. But then on a normal day, strategic decision, okay, we want to go and do this thing. We don't have money. Wait, where do we get the money from? What do? We go and ask the trustees. Most of those things. So, and whenever there is a program, we just notify them to know that those guys are the ones who provide advice and funding for what we are doing. So it helps. And with time, if we run some of these things over a period of time, things will get better. Right now, we are young, and so a lot of things are not like what we think is supposed to be. And so, in practical sense, we will be looking at A players and B players. There's something I do in my head a lot of times when I'm working on things. A players are people who really care about what we are doing. You get it? If you care about something, you don't have to be compelled to do it. So while we realize that maybe you are just doing it to save your friendship, or you are just doing it so that you look like a bad person, then we just move you back to Friend of Hope Jenny, and then you are replaced with someone who really want to do things. And so those A players are people we entrust the team so that things will work. So if they are working on those things, you focus on other things you are doing. You see, you can't be journey budget doing complex things, and then you also need to go and do purchase of other things. You get it? If Asamoah is doing stationery, and we know he's someone from educational background, and so he understands the books. Me, I don't know anything about box and lines, so he's the one handling it. You just give it to him. How much will it cost? He handles it. Whilst you are working on maybe art strategy and some of the things that will help. You see, so it really helps. Like when you have someone like that handling those things, it makes things work faster, and there is growth. So one of the ways too is to scale. We are trying to scale or grow is solving a funding problem. We know we have a funding problem. We know nice things, we like nice things, and we know we can do nice things. But the reason why sometimes you can't do nice things is because sometimes you don't have the money, and sometimes too our trustees want us to be frugal with things. So because of you, we don't do some things. So yes, by now your baby fufu but sometimes the trustees are like, no, this one we are using other people's money. You can't be doing this. You get it? Checks and balance. Yes, so it helps. But then we need to solve funding problems. We need a reliable source of fund for the inflow and outflow. So we have two channels we'll be getting the funds from. That's what we are trying to do. The in-source is we trying to get donations from the older associates. It's a system which is helping now. And right now, when you look at the list, where the big monies are coming from are all older associates. And it's a good thing. It means with time, when all of us grow, funding will not be a problem, which I believe that this year we will experience it with how the fundraising is going, how the figures are going up. This in-source thing will really help us. And then with the outsource as a way we will get the money to donations will be coming through the lights and donations will be coming through our own network. The truth about what we are working on is offer commercial thing to anyone. You understand? You are not giving anyone money for anything, and you are saying you are going to win souls. So sometimes when you submit proposals, it becomes difficult for the organizations to give you the money. And so when you look at other organizations like us, how they do their things, this is what works. You have people who part membership who fund it, so the older associates and our patrons, and then the trustees, they do well for us. Sometimes you have a program, for example, health is mostly catered for by one person from trustees, which helps. And so with time we'll be able to solve that, and then donations coming from the network to the 10 bags per person thing. If we're able to execute, I know 10 people who can give Hope Journey 10 bags, so 50 times 10 say 500. Okay, minimum across me there. Okay, if at least everyone is bringing 500 CDs in form of donation, not you giving the money, but then coming through people you know, times 30 associates. Look at it. So if you're able to do that, we won't have to submit proposals to people, because the thing about proposal is you send proposal to someone and the person tells you that I want you to do A, B, and C for me so that you get this money, and we get ego small. We are an organization that has principles. What you call values, thing or website, and they are saying that now you have to bring SGD logo on your things. Also, fun. So how do you go? You get it. So if you really want to go on the true path, then this is how we are supposed to fund our things. This is how we are going to do our and so this is what we are trying to use to scale Hope Journey from 2022 to 2025 and beyond. It's just a matter of time, and it will work. We just have to keep our faith and so. And then one final thing I want to talk about is we are currently working on experiments, a lot of things to see how we will go in terms of the numbers problem. So we are trying to create something like a net. I think I've discussed it, some of you, Jonathan. It's something we are trying to, and then localized branches and outreaches. So outreaches. There's this lady who contacted us around there, but then unfortunately her project didn't sell to the school uniform thing. She was not getting funding and all those things. She was not able to implement some of the things. The first she was supposed to do was to get a group of people who believe in what she was doing. That was the first task I gave her, because if you are working on free uniform projects, you are a dresser. We are working on free uniform projects for children in your community. You should have at least 10 people who are your friends and family who will also believe in it. So that it takes a family, it takes a community to. If you don't have a group of people who believe in this, then the project will not sell. And she was not able to do that. So the other time we were talking and I was telling her that that's the task. If she's able to do that, because she cannot even go and do the donation. And we have experienced that 2017 almost 2021 in Chenwa could be Ralph. Ralph, I feel we are so anymore. And so me na me fear china me be so mu say masa den na mo yes I chicha. You get it. And so you can't go alone. The crowd will be false. Yes, so you need people. And so that was her first task. Then there's another guy too. He was supposed to witness 101 so that he will learn how we do our things. Or say he was supposed to come so that he would know how. So many, and he was not able to do it. So I think those things help. And when you create a task for someone, pictures na ranimu. Person me who Jenny, person me be, but then one little task, Now if you need to me, okay, then it means you can do it. Okay, then we give you the next ones, and it has helped us. And yes, Anka, we waste the little money we have on people and other things. Our donors will not be excited about. And another thing too, I think we are using to go maybe get funding is also looking back at the podcast and the YouTube thing. We have AI tools around and things you can use to create documentaries and things. And with our numbers, and if you're able to get thousands of subscribers and then some form of views which are substantial, you get access to YouTube AdSense. You get some dollars coming in, and looking at how the city is performing, when you're getting some dollars, it will really help us. Yes, so I'm not here to solve your problems for you, like your economic problems for you, I beg. Yes, so it's something we are looking at. So made master you know, I would say you are welcome to 2024 101. It's our goal that if you've not been here before, you will learn something you don't know. And it's my goal that everyone who will be able to do presentation will be able to articulate and tell us what they think. And it's not a way to trash people's projects they are working on. It's a way to give honest feedback. And we have witnessed it on the field. Last year, Ada was one of the best executions, like in my view. We went there, no one was confused. Like people knew what we are doing, and especially clothes, for instance. You go there and they are just doing their thing. Stationary, they were doing their thing. So it's you don't have to babysit people on the field. And then they're always doing their things. Yeah, hell, they're always doing their thing. Funny enough, I barely go to their place. I don't. Just like hospital, and I don't like going there. So yeah. Oh, they do really well. The health team, they do really well. Charles, he'll be watching it. So yeah, it's something needed, a very key thing. It's why we are here to waste the Saturday. We are trying to make a good use of the Saturday, the opportunity to take us. And so when you are called upon, you just tell us what you think. And I also teach you on, listen, give an honest view. See, means we are like, we are normal people like you now. Yeah, so question. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a question or not, but you see, with the Dockers box, our focus is mainly on the kids. You realize the products I brought you were mostly for grown-ups. So mostly I realized the people I know don't really pay attention to it because they are older folks, and then feel like they can't really give. So in our multimedia communications, let's just try and make it look like okay, anything it shouldn't get simple. That way we get more from like some of the people I know. I'm taking it from my personal experience.
Okay.
I don't know. It's supposed to be for everybody. And then there are people in their 70s who don't have a clue about what Christianity and love and like the Bible and everything. So I think if we do it that way, it will help us. That's my suggestion.
Okay, so when you look at previous, okay, wow.
Okay, so since I'm 2 years old,
yeah, or had their,
it's a good observation.
Yeah.
So what have issues with? That's what we stress on.
Oh, more.
Always have enough tools.
In fact, we even have backlog from last year for adults.
Them. But where we have deficiency, that's where we focus.
I mean, it's like.
What can you mean now?
I spoke with
I see now.
The recent buyer.
And I'm not the one who did it though. Now every team has their own designer. Every team has, so there's a guy in your team who does it for you.
See, I received the post.
Uh-huh.
And I told no, but I said, my friend, the person will go all right. So I will tell you, stress on.
Yeah. So
that wasn't.
Yes. So this year we are doing that. I think. Oh, you didn't join the last community meeting. Yeah, meeting. We're talking about feedback from the field, feedback from Sansan. So what they were in us and what we even learned when we went there is that Sansan is a village. That's what we should know. Signboard and a village. So a village. You get it? And so Sansan is a place people are from Accra and they are staying there. And the people are trying to reach out to this year are children who are natives of the town, who are less privileged there. So now, Corona is a Krokese. Like you have big building. There are people who originally own the place. They are not. And so the adults over there, no, and also, sir, into Ukofa entire in paying for see nkwala they are your main target, they will not get. And that's what Martin is even saying from previous experience. The best sorting tire na nkwala they just some few sacks, but before they be brave. And Adan yeah lucky. Adan people were fighting over the clothes and people were Bonkua, they were flexing on us until we have to bring our own clothes back. Yes, so it's something they tailor it towards the project. Yes. So Jack, when they say the Nkwala tire, yeah, that's what we want. But your friend say Nino, we're dealing with. She reached out to me and she brought like big, yeah, Nkorani map like baby. And now I think that sitting they are parking them and the whole area man. So okay.
So let's make it generic.
Well, you see, I've not posted that thing.
But the truth is, Jack, mostly no, you be in quarantine anymore.
So let's try and focus on it.
Like, and in paying for then, yeah, last year they never were. If you are we will get to docs. We will get to Docker's box when she's done with her presentation. Then you probably when you pull, yeah. Now I pay down, sir. Yeah. So when we get to Docker's box, she will be here. Then I think that will be best. Any other hope journey? The organizational questions, clarity. If there's something you want to have clarity on. Their presentation, we na. Yankasha, it's either you did extremely well. They say, Charlie, go and sit down. Oh, if there is something about hope journey you don't understand, how funding is done, how this is done.
Because we have only one in person.
Okay.
So we can move to the
Yes. So we are not using MC like we did last year. We have a pen, then a do so penna. What cancel? Where my definitely. So we are done with the introduction, so we are entering the part 2. Sansami, December Sansami. So I want to give then I'll go and sit down. Sansami amount from not slice na me any doors until this one I couldn't do it. Yes, so the place we are going is located around Home Road near signboard. Sansami amount from. Yes, the place is called signboard. I think so, and only one of the first places that signboard or quite so yeah, so I'm from a signboard. Signboard is your
Tell them the history. I mean, the last time I went
so na say honor on the signboard base you no be donation mom na instead say obey donation no almost per signboard or something like that. Some very funny story. Signboard. Church, it was a church signboard. Or can some be the one of those old churches maybe. Signboard, then it became signboard. But the actual name of the place is Sansami Amanfo. Yeah, it's under Adweji, those Achin, Prepo, them are places in Eastern region across the area. Why are we going to Sansami? Yes, instead of we going to Volta region or Afram Plains like we were talking about the other time, we decided to stay in Eastern region and stay around our place because we are in an election year. And looking at where the date we do our program, you get it, where we normally have the program. No, it will be better for us to go to a place closer to us, where we have the opportunity to be in control over the odds. You get it? We can't go to a place we are not familiar with. You need a basic election. It's a very crucial election, so we decided to go to such a place. And also, it's a way to responding to a report, a request from someone. Like someone requested from a Hope Journey Associate, say, or per se, your donation with Omohono. The person is one of us, and they meet our requirements. So synchronicity, they were lucky that it synchronized with the whole idea of we finding with a place closer to us. So we selected it, and also all of us agree that we go there, so we are going there. So by the figures we are looking at, it's on the Hope Journey website. Like when we selected Sansami, so all these things I'm just reiterating. Sansami amount from by the numbers. We are looking at 400 pupils, and then we are looking at 200 adults. Now you get why we are advertising the children down there. So 200 adults, and then we are looking at 600 benefiting from the clothing project. So 400 children, 200 adults, and then 400 people from the food tent generally, and then 25 homes we are to be reached for the house-to-house evangelism. This time around we will go. If I'm in Kwana, we will go. Last year we placed it there. No one selected house-to-house evangelism. Very steady.
The language was a problem.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kashi. It did so. It did so. Excuse me, Rafa. It did so.
All of us going here, teams.
Yes, but people could select it still. But still now they were joining places of more. Oh yeah.
Only if you go
And we, I was so sure that because
we had people to come.
true. Yeah. But I think that is one of the places I've enjoyed since, and so. So I want us to maybe go back there sometimes, like if you are another place over there, so we know that we are successful, like KPIs. And so the first one is obviously you are doing non-profit, so the total funding raised to fund the project 17K mark. Then that's one of the ways we can measure that we are successful. And also if you're able to spend the money well, where there will be waste, then it means you are successful. It's not an issue of just taking money to waste it, but if you are able to spend your money well, there's an expenditure part of the whole thing. You can go to the site and you find how your money is being used. It's there. And then engagement KPIs. And when community members participate in it, like you are here and others watching, so those things are a way we see say we are doing well or not. And also we would want to ask the community reach out to the some people whether they liked what we do. So last year I asked from the Koni headmaster and he was excited about it. He keeps talking about it, and a woman out to put here a picture. We did well from that side, so it's a way to measure whether you've done well. And then if you're able to win a lot, when you go to the house-to-house team, if they're able to preach the gospel to people repenting from their sins to become Christians, then okay, we've done something. It's one of the KPIs. And then the number of school bags distributed. We are saying we are going to give 100 bags. If we are able to give 100 bags, then we are successful with it. So it's one of the KPIs. So all of them are there, and one KPI too is spiritual growth for the members, those who go on the field. Sometimes it's a way you feel energized spiritually. Like I don't know if it happens to some of you, but when we your cover me cry and I don't know if it happens to you there, but me there, yeah, MSR. Yeah, so it's one of the ways we are able to measure if we are successful. So this is Sansami for you, and we are going to judge our success. And so you are welcome. And so I think health team is next. So if they can come and do a presentation of what they will have for us.